Welcome to the first episode of the Casa Music Podcast. I'm Lucas.
I'm Jonah.
And I'm Chris.
And we are three MIA students at Fanshawe in London, Ontario. And we thought it'd be fun if we got together and just started talking about some music news and talking in depth about some albums that we've been listening to. This week we're going to be doing Master Volume by the Dirty Nil. But first we wanted to talk about some music news. The most interesting news that I found this week was that Kanye West is dropping a new album called Yandhi. And I wanted to get your guys' opinions on.
It's going to be the second
What is
coming.
Yandhi?
Yandhi, it's like, you know, Yeezus? You know how he dropped Yeezus?
How do you spell Yandhi?
Yandhi.
So
That's good shit.
So it's like Yeezus, how he took Jesus and made it.
it's like Jesus is Yeezus, and then Gandhi is Yandhi.
Exactly.
Why?
What do you expect? Have you heard Jesus? Have you guys listened to Jesus?
I've listened to some of Yeezus.
Yeah, you know some of the, what are you expecting on this album? Did you hear his last record?
Oh yeah, I've heard a bunch of his stuff.
And what was what do you think you're gonna get on this new record?
I hope Lil Pump's on every track, personally.
Yeah.
I just
want
need
Lil
more
Pump.
Lil Peep.
If it's Lil Peep,
Yeah.
Lil Pump. Lil Peep is I don't know if you knew. I hate to break it to you.
Oops.
I don't know. I'm excited. There was a snippet on his Instagram page with some music on it that sounded really upbeat. So it'll be interesting.
Who the fuck's working with? Is it No, it's like Skrillex and Post or Brockhampton or something like that.
I think.
Was it?
Actually, I
It
think
was
so.
something like that. I can't remember.
The new Brockhampton album dropped today. Have you guys listened to it yet?
Yeah, you guys got me into Brockhampton. Their new album. When did it come out? Their new album.
It came out this morning.
It came out this morning.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it next week. So I just want, if you guys haven't heard it, I don't want.
Iridescence.
Yeah,
It's such a good name.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. I really like Bleach. Bleach is a really good song.
Wasn't Bleach already on it?
Yeah, Bleach was on their third Saturation
Yeah, I
album.
thought so.
But yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
I like it because it's like really lo-fi. It's like
It's got the guitar. I'm not sure if it's a guitar sample, but like
I
at
don't
the
know what it
beginning.
yeah, that's an
Oh, yeah.
acoustic. No, yeah, it's an acoustic. I think they just like put a bunch of reverb on it.
Final thoughts on what do you think Yandhi's gonna be?
I think it's just gonna be another Kanye album. You know,
Yeah, but
it's just another Kanye.
you
album.
can't say that about a Kanye album. Like
I don't know,
they're
he's-
all.
Extremely innovative.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll do something really wicked this time around.
I like the old Kanye,
He keeps
but not the new
getting
Kanye.
better and better. I don't know. No matter what you say about Kanye, though, he's like actually a really good musician. He's really creative.
I think he's good at putting good musicians in the same room.
Yeah.
I think he's more artistic than DJ Khaled, but he's a collaborator, and I think in that sense they're very
And
similar.
he's a hit maker.
He is a hit maker, but I don't know. He's DJ Khaled is a hit maker. I haven't liked his past few singles that he's been dropping, but all right. Do we want to move on to the Dirty Nil?
I mean, like, that'd be nice. I really like that album.
It's tight. It's tight. It's definitely different. They definitely have strayed away from punk. That's for sure. There's
From-
still some elements in there.
From Punk Element?
Yeah, they declared that they want to be more hard rock and not punk.
Yeah.
And I can definitely tell on this new album, but there is still like the last track is still like punk as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
And I love what was the one track? It had the crazy ending, Smoking is Magic,
Smoking Magic is
where with the
dope.
crazy drums. Yeah, that was awesome. So
Evil
they did have
Side
some
is-
punk in there.
Yeah.
Evil Side,
Evil Side-
6 minutes long.
I know. It's the intro is just like, so good. It's not what you expect, and then like the ending is just like oh my god.
A bunch of these songs,
my
so
mind.
they're like a really popular song by the Dirty Nil is Wrestle You to Husker Du.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of that in their new songs.
Oh yeah.
There's like at least 3 songs that mimic the Wrestle You to Husker Du's chorus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Evil Side does it, Always High does it, Ulf Wiederson does it.
Yeah.
I think Pain of Infinity does it a little bit.
What did you think of the intro? That's what heaven feels like.
Oh yeah, I thought it was good. It's just like I'm used to them being like a really punk, like garage indie grunge,
Yeah.
And like this is like well produced, and like that's what heaven feels like. It doesn't seem like. To me, I just thought something else like "Bathed in Light" would be a better song to open up the album with, just because it's like bigger.
It's got the same, like they both have the same feel to me. I think they kind of just wanted to double down more on their new sound, because like it is definitely not as, it's more, rock and roll as opposed to the punk. But I don't know. To me, the Dirty Nil have always been more of a rock band than a punk band.
Really? Have you heard their like early stuff?
No,
Like
I haven't listened to as much stuff as you guys have, so I can't really.
Pale Blue is pretty punk.
Pale Blue
Is
extreme.
before everything?
Like
before
Pale
Nicotine, Pale Blue,
Blue. There's a bunch
Zombie
of other...
No, Zombie Eye's pretty hard rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's where I listened to them from Letterkenny, right?
Yeah.
That's where I found out about them from.
That was so cool.
How did I find about the Dirty Nil? I think my friend.
think Rennie told us.
Cam Rennie told me about that.
Rennie told us about basically all the punk bands.
Yeah, Pop. I got from him
Dirty
too.
Nil.
Great guy.
Yeah, he's a homie. Shout out to Rennie.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, like just off the first three, like even like all the tracks, the vocal performances are like wild, like great.
My God.
They just
Yeah.
not only in the range and the tone of Luke's voice is awesome, but just the way that they match the like feel of every individual song, I just thought was great. Like Pain of Infinity, that whatever you want hook, I just thought like it just fit in attitude, and I just thought it was perfect.
Yeah, there's so much more like they got like there's who they signed to now. They signed to Dynalone, I think, didn't they?
Yeah.
Dynalone? Yeah.
Yeah. Who were they signed to before? Were they even signed before?
I don't know.
I don't know. But like now that they're on Dynalone, they have like a bigger budget, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's been well produced. Like the song arrangements are extremely like they're not like extremely good because they're not like huge songs, but
Yeah.
They sound huge.
they sound really good.
The guitar tones on That's What Heaven Feels Like are crazy. Like I need to know more about them because they just sounded sounded crunchy,
yeah.
but they weren't muddy at all.
Yeah, I watched the video. Apparently he uses two rat fuzz pedals in line, like the same sequence.
Okay.
And he puts one on like a little bit and the other one on just all full volume.
Yeah.
And the first one's on just for like a little bit of kick during the verses, and then he throws on the other one
And that's just
during choruses.
the
and
chorus.
apparently it's a really clean fuzz.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd love it if they did a rig rundown. Have you seen Up From Your Guitar? They have those. They'll go through someone's rig, their guitars, their pedals, and their amps.
I saw a video from like something pro audio. I have to go find it.
It was like just someone trying to somehow got an interview with Luke.
Yeah, somebody somehow got an interview with Luke.
Just went through the guitars and.
So I really fell in love with the rat pedals because not only is it really flexible and really nasty if you want it to be, but it's also very clear and has a ton of volume and is simple for an idiot like me.
It's called
Pretty cool.
Uber Pro Audio, Luke Bentham, the Dirty Nil. That's the YouTube video.
Yeah, no. I know they promoted the album a lot too. Just like dropping. Oh, what was they drop?
All
What were the singles? Here, let me.
They
put the
dropped-
singles right here.
Bathed in Light.
Bathed in Light was the first one.
Bathed in Light, which
They did a
was so
cover.
good. And then
Pain of Infinity,
yeah,
which I hated at first.
Really?
I hated the Whatever You Want, but
I loved it
yeah, I mean after a while, I just like after really listening to it,
because it's just he just sings the guitar hook too, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like it just reinforces it, and it's really good.
Mhm.
I know they played at George Stroumboulopoulos' house.
Oh yeah,
Pronouncing his last name right.
yeah.
Is that how you say his last name?
They just people call him Strombo. It's cool. It's so weird because I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Like just for during the strike, they had the thing, and I popped by, even though it was more for film and television shit.
Yeah.
But I came in.
I really liked I Don't Want That Phone Call, the third single.
Yeah, what's your guys' favorite song off the album?
Give me three.
Give me
Your
top three.
Top three. I
Sorry.
like just the first three tracks
Really?
personally.
In
Again,
order.
that's probably because I've just played. I was like, I'm gonna listen to the album, and then I stop halfway through for some absurd reason, and then I just like, okay, I'm gonna do it again, and then I just plays through those 3 again.
Oh yeah, I've been there where like I'll listen to one song off an album, and I'll love it, and I won't want to hear anything else to spoil my enjoyment of the other song that I already love, so I won't listen to anything else off that album. You ever done that?
Can't say I have.
It's like I'm worried that all the other songs are gonna suck, so I'll just listen to this one song that
I have to at least listen to an album 3 times before I can complete. Because I've
how many
listened
times have you listened to this album?
I don't know, probably like
Since it came out, I've been listening to it every day.
Yeah,
6
I've listened
times.
to it at least once every day. It's been a week since it's come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I remember there was like a Watsky album, like the new one.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to it, and I was like, "This is not what I don't like this." And then I listened to it a second time. I was like, it's not bad."
Yeah.
And then the third time, I was like, "Oh, this is."
That's what I felt about
actually
Master
sick.
Volume 2.
Yeah.
Because their sound changed so much from their old stuff, and I was just so in love with their old stuff.
Chris, what were your top 3 on the album?
Oh, top 3?
If you had to,
My favorite is Oaf Wiederson.
yeah,
Yeah, it's.
Then, Oaf Wiederson is just... When he shouts Oaf Wiederson, it just gets you, you know?
yeah.
And then Bathed in Light was my second favorite, and then Evil Side's my third.
Evil Side?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one? I thought that one was really interesting, being at the end of the album, like
Yeah.
right at the end, except for Hit the Lights. But like, if you look at all the other times on the songs,
They're all around 2 minutes, under 3 minutes.
the next longest one before that is 3 minutes and 38 seconds, and almost every other one is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So just having this 6 minute long beefcake of a song.
I think there's a pattern with their albums.
Yeah.
Because on Minimum R&B, they have Caroline, which is like a really long song. How long is it? It's 5 minutes. And the longest song on Higher Power is 3:30. I don't know. Nothing long on Higher Power.
Yeah, but they've been throwing in like,
They've been throwing big songs in
Mhm.
their albums ever since.
and it's not. I mean, it's different, in terms of its feel and its attitude. It's definitely like a more somber song, which I love.
Yeah.
Like I thought they did that really, really well. But towards the end of the song, they blow up. They're going crazy.
Yeah, I love that about the No. They just go insane.
They've got great dynamics, and you don't really see it very often. Like on the next song, Hit the Lights, it's just like the fastest thing on the album, I think, which I think is very interesting, going right after Evil Side.
Ended off on a high point.
Mm-hmm. But I just think it's interesting because after all these, like, they're for the most part, they're all pretty, mid-high tempo rock songs.
Yeah.
Which is, if I had one complaint about the album, it'd probably be that. So there isn't a lot of diversity in the album.
Evil Side kind of makes up for it a little bit because it's got...
No, you're right. And that's like the one place, and I don't want that phone call. I think it's got like that, like that's a really passionate performance by Luke. And I just thought it was killer the way they did that one. So those 3 songs at the end,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. But besides that, I didn't get much diversity.
In a interview I watched, they said they're gonna be like, they're a rock and roll band now.
Yeah.
They used to be punk rock or something. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the good old days.
Back in the good old days, during Ray Gun.
Now,
Naked Ray Gun.
like I said, I've only been listening since Higher Power. And even then, I haven't heard all of their... Actually, I've heard most of Higher Power, but I haven't heard any, for the most part, of Minimum R&B. But to me, I didn't hear much of a difference between this album and Higher Power. Really. Like, not... They sounded... Didn't sound like their sound has changed as much as you're saying it has. And
Their
I
tones
haven't heard
changed.
Minimum R&B, and I haven't heard their older stuff.
I don't know if it's how their sound has changed as much as like their style kind of changed.
Their tones haven't changed.
Their tones haven't changed.
Their
They're like the
tones
way
haven't
they
changed.
sound, the way they sing, the way
The
they play
vocals,
hasn't
the
changed.
vocals can't really change that much. Luke's
Yeah.
just got an iconic voice.
No, you're right.
But like the sound
is.
hasn't changed, but the
Yeah.
style of like, fast and hard is kind of
Yeah. I mean,
not as crazy.
Listen to go on SoundCloud and listen to Dirty Nil's EP called Smite.
okay.
It's their first EP,
Yeah.
and that's what they used to sound like.
Oh. Well, I'll give that a listen.
Hey, shout out to Smite.
What'd you think of Super 8?
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
It's good.
I thought Halfway to Hell, it's called Super 8 Motel. I thought that was pretty good line. Yeah, I thought there was a lot of really clever lyrics on this album as well. Like
Like what?
I mean, Halfway to Hell, Super 8 Motel, I thought that was really funny.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I like that.
What's the on Heaven, That's What Heaven Feels Like? I just thought that whole hook is so sticky. It just like and the going from the bridge into that last chorus where he goes up in his vocal range and he hits the really high That's What Heaven Feels Like.
Yeah, he's
Or
got a
not
huge
cut up
range.
like a canine, sorry. That's what he says.
I don't even like. Yeah.
Because in a generic rock song you're gonna go down there.
Yeah.
You're gonna like go and build it back up, but they just kept the energy up, and I love that
Yeah,
they're
they
able to
just made
keep
it
the
louder.
energy,
Yeah.
but they diversify so much in the way that they write a song. Like they're all great, catchy rock songs, but they all have a different hook to them, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, I thought me just listening to the album over and over again. There's a bunch of there's the hooks that sound similar
Yeah,
because he just goes up and does the same and goes up and then. But that's not a bad thing. I really love it.
yeah. I
The way he
think
sings is amazing.
if it wasn't done, if it wasn't performed as well as it was,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the mixing on this album I think is fantastic as well, and if it wasn't for all that it might have made it not as enjoyable a listen for me, but I think that the fact that they really knocked it out of the park on their performances and their vocal recording and the mixing I think is awesome. I think this was a really well done album. What did you think of Hit the Lights though, the last song on the album?
I really liked it. I don't know. It was a good way to end it off.
Yeah,
That's what I felt.
It sounds like the end of a set.
it does.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, and that's almost what they're talking about in the song.
It sounds like an encore.
Yeah.
This album
Because Evil Side's like, oh fuck, this is it. This is
Yeah.
the end, and then they come on with this shit, which sounds like a new intro, which is awesome, and it's just like, oh fuck, here we go again, and then you start punching kids and pushing people around. It's a call back to their roots, that kind of shit.
No, it is. Yeah, and that's what I like is that there were that and Smoking is Magic, like I was saying earlier, are pretty heavy songs.
Yeah.
They're they veer out of the hard rock and more into the verging on taking more punk influences.
Punk will come back. Punk's never gonna die.
Then again, this whole thing is, it's different because Dave left, right? This is the first album that
Oh, it is.
I'm not sure of the lineup. Who was
So-
Dave?
Dave
was the
Nardi
old
was
bass.
the old bassist.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Is that his name? Full
Yes.
name? Dave Nardi?
Dave Nardi.
I think it's Dave Nardi. But he was
I
the old
don't-
bassist. I don't know.
Who plays Ross?
Yeah, Ross.
Ross plays
from
him,
the
Ross Miller.
Single Mothers.
From the
Oh,
Single
okay.
Mothers. Yeah.
Ross Miller.
Chris remember when that happened.
Yeah.
Chris was the first one to know.
Oh yeah. So I went to the Single Mothers. They had a stag and do for one of their guitarists' weddings.
Okay.
You know what stag and do is, Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But for the audience, why don't
For the
you explain
audience?
it for them?
okay, so a stag and do is when you throw a party
You love each other very
and you
much.
charge people to come to the party, and all the money you make from the party goes to your wedding.
Yeah.
So I went to a Single Mother stag and do. The bassist from the old bassist from the Dirty Nil was there, and this was before, just around the time where he would left, but I didn't know that he left.
Okay.
So we're all there. Me and my 2 buddies from my other band. We're all just standing around. We meet Luke, meet the drummer Kyle, say hi. Then we see Dave Nardi standing over the corner, kind of all alone.
Yeah.
We go over to Dave, take a picture with Dave, say hi, blah blah blah, and we're like, "When's the next show, Dave?" And Dave goes, "Oh, I'm not in the band anymore."
Oh.
And we're like,
Brutal.
"Oh no."
Was Roth playing the show?
No. This was before they started playing, but like,
No, I mean like at the single since it's the basis for Single Mothers, right? It was the basis for Single Mothers. Was Roth playing? So have they?
yeah,
not?
because he's the Single Mother's bassist. So
Is he
he's
still
still
in
the Single Mothers bassist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Man's got a.
So we talked to Dave Nardi. He told us he wasn't in the band. We asked if he left on good terms, and he just says no.
Oh.
So the next few days, like
Wah, wah.
something comes out, and like I don't know, I saw it on Twitter, I think, and it said Dave Nardi left the band, replaced by Ross.
Wow.
I was like, wow, damn.
Chris had insider
Yeah,
information.
why didn't we have that podcast then? You could
Yeah.
break the news first.
I didn't know who you were.
Just kinda
then, Luke.
Knock on
What-
Luke's
wait,
door. It's
what-
like I don't know
what-
you.
This was like 2-3 years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So was Minimum R&B?
Minimum R&B was not out.
So, okay. So,
Minimum R&B is just a collective of old songs.
oh, you're right. You told me that. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
There we go. Finally, John Goodmason is the producer.
Oh, the new guy?
For the new album is John. Is it John?
On
It's
this
John Goodmason.
Dirty Nil album?
Yes.
Cool.
And he has also produced
Master
Such-
Volume by the
such
Dirty
thing.
Nil.
such things as not Josh Goodman, John Goodman. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, Luke, have you ever heard Little Metal Baby Fist?
No, that's another one of their like EPs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's on.
it's really
Well,
old.
it's on. It's on.
Well, it's not really old.
minimal R&B.
Little Metal Baby Fist came out in 2012. Their oldest song that I can see from their wiki page is Fucking Up Young, which was released in 2011.
Oh, really? So I was right. When I first started listening to them, I thought that "Fucking Up Young" was an old song, and then
Yeah.
it came out on Minimum R&B, so I figured it was a new single at that time. But now I find out it comes out in 2011.
You know how we in class we talked about like how producers split rights to a song?
Yep.
So like I was thinking they just re-recorded it
Yeah,
and released it again.
they might have done that. I don't know. Have you guys heard of Northern Pikes? They're like a
Sounds familiar.
Canadian rock band from the 80s.
I had 2 jobs, I dishwater hands, and on the weekend in a rock and roll band. One Friday night in my hometown bar and watched a girl who looked like a movie star.
I don't remember.
I was kind of reminded of them when I was listening to this album, just on songs like Bathed in Light.
In a far off place, in a far off town, I had a vision of you and I.
They had like this distinct attitude that just felt to me kind of like
That rock attitude.
that old school Canadian rock, like almost, I don't know. I mean, they are Canadian, so so maybe it's just a
Canadian.
universal Canadian thing, but it just had like this awesome attitude about it that reminded me of some of the Northern Pikes music.
Great album. That's
Yeah, you know
wrong.
what? I thought it was a pretty good album.
I think it is their best album yet.
I agree.
The most pop or like
The most
the
mainstream.
most mainstream.
This will probably
It's gonna
do
get popular. It's gonna go somewhere.
This will probably be pretty big for them. I really enjoyed the record actually. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, to be honest.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. All right, boys. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good talking.
All right. Well, thank you for listening.
What are we gonna do next?
Next week we're talking about the new Brockhampton album,
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
right?
did that come
Iridescence.
Right? Yeah.
I've already been listening to it. I've heard it twice already.
Came out this morning.
Yeah. My hot take. It's interesting.
It is interesting.
It is.
They're very
the album art is
very creative people.
interesting.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it next week.
All right.
Until then, you can listen to the podcast on YouTube or on the Sound Parade website. And thank you for listening.